Silk Road, things like that. And one thing that really changed the trajectory of my career and the way I view crypto was when I joined Chainalysis. I worked closely. Chainalysis is a AML KYC kind of compliance platform where you can track and monitor different crypto transactions. And one of the partners that I was helping with was the Korean National Police Force, and along with other law enforcement. And one of the things that we did was actually close down what's called Welcome to Video. I don't know if you guys have heard, but Welcome to Video at the time was the largest child pornography website, and the payments happened with Bitcoin. So Chainalysis teamed up with multiple law enforcement agencies around the world to take this website down, and many people
Wow.
arrested. Unfortunately, in Korea, they just got a slap on the wrist, which was really unfortunate. And then another big case happened, which is called Nth Room. So what Nth Room was this Telegram room where they have like a free group where you can access child pornography, exploitation materials. And if you want more explicit ones, you pay to go to the next room. So room number 1, and it would be like $20. And then room number 2 would be $50, so on and so forth, until maybe it was like 9th or maybe even like 11th room where people would pay like thousands of dollars to enter. And these exploiters would run terrible ring of just exploiting girls they meet online. They do the regular where they kind of take their personal information and use that to blackmail, and these girls were forced to do unimaginable things, and they would like live stream things, and it got so bad to the point where they would make these children harm themselves and do unimaginable things, and they would accept crypto payments as payments for this. So one of the things that I got to do was try to help these agencies with any sort of help to track things down. Unfortunately, Monero is not a cryptocurrency that you can easily track down, but there are things that you can still look at, kind of like the batches and the IP addresses of where the transactions are coming from, etc. And in the end, they did capture the guy. It wasn't something that I personally did, but it was just such a rewarding journey to see as our technology improve. The usage, there will be bad actors using this technology in a really bad way, but we will also in turn grow and make good use, or not good use out of it, but be able to kind of protect us from these bad usages. So
Yeah.
I think I wanted to share this story because crypto is still kind of recovering from some of these bad rep, and what OSP and you guys are doing with the NGO, that makes me personally feel so fulfilled to be working in this space. So yeah, that was the story I wanted to share.
That's absolutely great to hear that there are entities out there fighting on that front, because no one's looking there. No one's looking there to shut down those kinds of things, and you were part of a team that is. I'm sure that's a very rare team that are actually after closing down exploitation, which is great. Which also tells us what your heart is all about.
There's,
So
mhm.
do you live in Singapore?
I live in New York City now, so it's daytime.
Okay. I thought you sound very American. You've been Americanized. You're so fluent in American.
Yeah, Unc makes fun of me for my Valley Girl accent, which I don't know why I have a Valley Girl accent because my native tongue is Korean. I grew up in Korea, Istanbul, Ottawa, and then I came to US in high school to Michigan. So I don't know where this accent comes from.
Well, obviously it comes from Michigan, but with your own twist, depending on who you've been hanging around with. Or
Absolutely.
possibly even part of, I don't know if you had an English teacher in America or if you came speaking English. It's all those little influences.
Yeah, it's funny because I learned English at an international school in Istanbul. So did my brother, but his homeroom teacher was British and my homeroom teacher was American. So my brother has a slight tint of a little bit of British accent, so he'll say
You
mum.
see, that is it. That is that. It's from
Yeah.
your teacher that you have this accent too.
But
But it's a good accent. You sound good.
thank you. My
Very
Korean is
clear.
fading, though.
Pardon?
My Korean is fading though.
You're gonna have to find yourself a Korean community to start speaking Korean on weekends, at least.
I watch enough Netflix dramas, but it's not enough.
Because you need to talk.
I do
You
need,
need to.
that's right. I'm not having conversations, so
Yes.
Talking to the TV is, I'm pretty sure that's considered as, yeah, I think that's frowned upon in most households.
oh, I do that all day, talking to screens all day.
Well, I mean, I say that, and here we are, all talking to screens. We're just talking heads on screens. That's all we are.
Hi,
Well, I
Jason,
mean,
not Rob.
I'm not even. I don't even want to speak Afrikaans because my wife makes fun of my accent.
Well, only because I never heard it until we were married for a year or a few months.
Oh,
Damn, how shy was he? Oh wait, like Afrikaans. Okay.
Yes. Now English is our first language. We both speak Afrikaans, but his Afrikaans has a very Cape twang to it. So I was surprised because usually it's, I don't know, do we say the Cape colored people who are a mixed race between African and white people? They speak with that accent. So for me to see my white husband speaking with that accent in Afrikaans,
the colored,
Well,
colored accent.
yeah.
I don't talk with that accent. So
But you did that day.
no, we've just got it's like the Afrikaans accent in the Eastern Cape or the whole of the Cape. Hey, there's Roy. How's it, Roy? Good to see you. Hello, everybody on all the different platforms. I am seeing all the comments. I'll respond to you all individually just now. Just enjoying having these ladies chat to us. I love that. I've been loving the context. Nice to have our young up on stage with MrsFunk, Amanda, and Mavis, Meowvis. So where I grew up, we've got a kind of a drawl. It's like a lazy. I guess it's the equivalent of the American Southern accent, except in Afrikaans. So it's kind of like this when you talk Afrikaans. It's like a kind of a lazy, hey, how you doing? It's that kind of vibe. So So the average Afrikaner is a little bit more kind of to the point, driven. It's a very poetic language. Then you get the kind of Eastern Cape. We all sound like alcoholics, mostly because the whole of Eastern Cape is mostly alcoholics. Anyway, well, it's nice to have everybody up on stage. Thank you, everybody around the world on the different platforms who are joining us. We see that the viewers are starting to pile in, and I'm very glad. Let me just make sure. B, can you guys hear me on Arena Social? I don't know which microphone to select with this routing system, and I'm hoping everybody can hear me nicely. Well, if you guys can hear me here on the stream, then everyone can hear me nicely everywhere else. There's in your choice. So, they can't hear me on Arena Social, so let's try here. Senior Choice is awesome. B is awesome. Our Young is awesome. Mrs. Funk is awesome. Jason is awesome. Roy is awesome. Okay, everybody hears me now everywhere. Okay. So, Mavis dropped off. There's Malvis down there. Let's see. Oh, there's Joey. Let's bring Joey up on stage.
You're doing it, yeah? Cool.
Yeah. Cool, man. Okay, so welcome, Joey. So to introduce everyone on stage to all our viewers, usually at the 15-minute mark is where I start to kind of wake up. Generally, our Young, you're so busy, but you'd miss out. But generally, when we go live, we just party for the first hour. Just like loud music, bong, bong, bong. And I switch off the lights and I dance and I have disco. Let's go. She's a monster.
You ready?
So,
Been ready.
when Mrs. Funk and Mavis go to one of the events somewhere around the world, then I've seen our Young and Choco, they're party animals, Lovey, so you'll all get on very well. Go and dance. So, hello, Tanya. Okay, so up on stage right now, I'm going to start with me. Hello. Then Mrs. Funk is my ridiculously beautiful wife who has been chasing me around for 27 years. Our Young is here today to tell her that I am not just a body, I'm a person too. Because
she's going to teach me how to not exploit you.
That's difficult.
So Mrs. Funk, Amanda and I have been married for 27 years. And both of us were working with young people before we met. And it was just like a natural part of who we are. We both have always loved rave music and laser shows and bright things. So anything we build is going to be bright and fun and lasery and wholesome and happy. And we love working with young people. And we started out as youth ministers. We were youth ministers for most of our lives. And that just naturally evolved into working in the highest poverty areas in South Africa to find that this is the most unsafe place in the world to be a little girl. So it was just common sense for us to throw heart and soul and build a whole lot of different organizations. And in the end, having the strategy of OSP, Operation Safe Place, where we as much money as we raise as a team is how many kids we go and fetch out of these dangerous areas every weekend and every school holiday, because abuse happens outside of the oversight of parents, and parents in high poverty areas generally don't have access to child minders. They don't have access to people to keep their kids safe. And they kind of hope that their kids are safe at school, and they try and time it so that they get home from work in time to look after their kids. But on weekends and school holidays, that's when most of the rape, exploitation, molestation, when alcohol is flowing, it's when the stats go through the roof. So we committed ourselves to start off here in a small town in Paris and build the first Operation Safe Place, and then get it right in one area, because we've worked in many places, but we realized one place, consistent, do it right, keep that entire place safe, every girl safe, and then set a precedent. And after we've been Mandy and I even apart for about 30 years working amongst young people, but in the 27 years we've been together and trying everything. We burnt out on fundraising. It's very challenging because of also something called stipulated funding, where people will give you money and they'll say, well, this specifically has to go to that. And we're very grateful when people are generous to us, but they don't understand the true cost of where money needs to go. An example is kids get fed it's good that there's money for food, but if you've got enough incredible people, they will find the food to feed the kids. You just got to fund those people. If you put good money into the hands of great people, incredible things happen. So look, there's Jason on X. He says, "Go our young." I'm sorry, I'm only seeing it now, Jason. It's like X just takes days to get you. So we burnt out on fundraising because people often don't understand that you just want to put the money in the hands of great people. You don't have to tell them what to do with the money. Just keep them alive and they'll do great things. They'll keep working amongst those kids, but keep the people who do the work alive. And it just burnt us out because even laws, because of people's naivety, stipulate that X amounts of money must go to what happens on the ground, but they don't understand that you've got to put people on the ground, you've got to put vehicles on the ground. The admin is the hardest part of taking care of people. The administration is like 98% of your cost. The people, having people to do the work. Somehow in the minds and imaginations of people, the work just happens by itself. The money just gets up on its own 2 feet and walks over there and takes care of the kid. It's not how it works. So we decided, look, what can we do where we can just earn the money and just give money to great people and tell them, we don't care what you do with the money. You can go and buy yourself a sports car. We don't care. You're a great person doing great things before anybody gave you money. Here you go. We want to be able to do that. We want to do it with our own team, where we say, we don't care what you do with the money. We know that just because you exist, great things will happen. And you can't do that when you're out here raising funds and asking people for money, because people don't look at Mavis, Mandy, and myself. Even Joey's been doing great things amongst young people, which he'll talk about. Our Joey's in Lebanon. We'll get to him in a moment. But people don't look at us and say, oh, they also need to survive. They don't realize that if we burn out, the work stops. They don't realize that if our team burns out, the work stops. Yes, Tanya, like administrative precision. And administrative precision is expensive. It's probably the most expensive part of helping people. And most people who don't do it think that all you have to do is jump in a little pickup truck, drive there and help a bunch of people. But they haven't been doing it day in, day out, 7 days a week for years and years and years. My sister and my brother-in-law, who we'll get on the show as well, they've got our overflow department, overflow ministry or NGO, and they feed people every day, 7 days a week. They don't have holidays. They haven't had holidays in years. None of us actually have. And if you had to tell us, would you rather give money to those people or give money straight to taking care of the kids you want to keep safe, we would say, please don't ask dumb questions. Who's going to take care of the kids? Now, most people who are naive would just say, well, just, put the money to the kids, because they don't understand that who's going to do this day in, day out for 30, 40 years? Who? So we just decided we're tired of those questions. We understand it. We understand it comes from a place of a good heart, naivety from a lot of people. But we want to do something where we can have the power to put millions into the hands of great people who are doing that stuff. Because we have got many friends in NGOs and NPCs who do amazing things. They don't have money. They just, their lives are falling apart. They do these incredible things, but the world rewards greed. It doesn't reward compassion. So we said, what are we good at? Well, we're good at filmmaking, marketing. We're good at storytelling. What are we passionate about? We're passionate about building communities. We've been doing that for a very long time. And I am a gamer, and most of my friends are gamers. So we got together as a bunch of gamers 4 years ago, and we said, listen, how do we do something where we don't have to ask people for money? Hey, Dirk, good to see you, Twisted. Hey. And how do we do something where we can be the ones just handing out money like crazy? And we realized that if we create an ecosystem where we build something that we're good at doing, which is storytelling and gaming, and we use Web3, which is naturally a place of people who very quickly and easily will depart with money because the roller coaster is much faster here. The seasons are quicker, that we would have a business model that can support everything we do. So that is really the engine behind Operation Safe Place Defense and the Citadel. And then we just met more and more people with the same heart. They're gamers, they're builders, they're Web3 people. They're like our Young, who I didn't know until yesterday, I think, that, she's part of the core team who takes care of us. And I had no idea that she had a history of protecting children from online child pornography rings. I mean, goodness gracious, that's incredible. So now immediately there's a resonation, and and General Kev says, and we're going to keep on building. Absolutely. So on stage, MrsFunk is the driving force in my life behind handling that administration and the finances and making sure that when there is money, it goes to where it should go. Mavis she's MrsFunk's right-hand man, but also she's the head chef for everything we do. And I blame her for this physique that I'm trying to...
man.
Yeah, whoa, man. But there's a lot of men here, so we got to put it in context that they know, Yes. Whoa, man. That's it. So Mavis is responsible for feeding huge amounts of people. Like she probably feeds more in a week than most of you have fed your entire lives. And it is always gourmet. It's brilliant. And she really, really cares. And she's doing a great job. Joey is our head of Web3 here in Operation Safe Place. But he is also a psychologist and also does camps to take care of young people in Lebanon. So Rob, who is not with us at the moment. Oh, there's Shreyas. We're going to bring you up in a second, Shreyas. Rob has got an incredible passion to educate people and put them into workplaces, and he has done that. He teaches young people how to be, they come out of school, and then he trains them and teaches them to become accountants, and then actually places them. He has placed thousands of young people into jobs, So we are spectacularly our Young had to go. Okay. I have to open a call, but thank you for having me. Okay, good. It was really nice to have our Young with us. And so the entire team are altruistic. We're very, very excited. So it was nice to have our Young on stage and have her share, what she was up to. And then Shreyas is also from the SAY team. And from Shreyas, we'll jump to Joey. Just you want to introduce yourself, Shreyas, and say hi to everybody listening on all the different platforms around the world?
Yeah, sure. Hey guys, I'm Shreyas. I work as a developer relations engineer at Say Foundation. Priorly, I used to also work like in the developer relations space itself. I always love to like educate people. I used to teach a lot of the engineering graduates or like the ones who are pursuing engineering or tech with respect to blockchain and how to work with it, because like back in 2021 2022 it was an emerging space and people were not able to get access to uh, you know get access to work with it or like learn it, right? The resources were like too limited, so I used to like draft resources, help people get into the space. And then in like I'm from India, and in the Indian ecosystem, like I built quite a few developers and developer communities. And apart from that, like I also used to be a gamer. I used to play like Dota 2, if you guys have heard of it. uh i was I was at around like maybe like top 100, or no, maybe the top 500 people back in like 2017 2018. But yeah, I never got into like esports and like shifted to education.
Awesome, man. It's nice to have you on stage, Shreyas. I like it that we're getting all these chatty folks from the Say Foundation. It's amazing.
Yeah, we always love our ecosystem.
Oh, it's great, man. Yeah, we're enjoying Say. Mandy, when Amanda, MrsFunk over here, when they were in Singapore last year, and we were courting all the different chains, and she just said, "No, we're going with Say," and I didn't have a choice. She's she she was like, no, she met Jason there, and that's that. We're going with Say. And Joey's been leaning hard towards Say. Joey, defend yourself, sir. You're even writing like 12-minute songs about Say lately. What is happening, man?
Yes, I
We have
became
to
a
hear
Say
that.
Max. What's that, Shreyas?
We have to hear that, like the song.
Oh, go to my profile. It's actually live right now. So for context, I'm migrating a community that is dear to me. It holds a special place in my heart. It was the first community I built in Web3, like a few years ago on the Doge ecosystem, believe it or not. So I'm migrating the community right now onto Operation Safe Place and onto Say. So I'm literally just like people were like, how can I get Say? I'm like, what currency do you have? They're like, I have Doge. I'm like, just send it to me. I'll send you Say in return. It's fine. And I'm migrating this community onto the Operation Safe Place ecosystem. So I made like a small clip with the NFTs that we've had that we're migrating, and created this a cute song about Dogsukis and how they're going to go onto the Say network. So let me know what you think, Shreyas, once you watch it.
For sure, I'll watch it.
All right. So, MrsFunk, we've got all these people listening all over the place, and you guys are going to be on X in 27 minutes. So it's month end in the ecosystem, and we usually have to raise, around at least like 10K, to take care of the community and stuff. So let's see, maybe there's a whale here somewhere who's got like 10K lying around, or people have got like 100 or 1,000 or whatever. We haven't really done like fundraising chats on our show, but I thought it's month end, and let's just give people an opportunity, while OSP is growing. By the way, if you just by playing OSP, 10% of anything you do goes to our NGO, whether you like it or not. So let's start with Mavis, actually. So Mavis, when money comes into the account to feed people, do you spend that money on cocaine and hookers?
I wish.
You wish?
No.
What?
I would have. I definitely would have.
I don't even know how to do cocaine. So I wish. I don't there's no hookers, there's no cocaine.
No hookers and no cocaine.
There's kids
We just
literally
learned something
around
new
me.
about Mavis. I had no idea that you were, for the hookers and cocaine. Yeah, blackjack and hookers. So
No, in my community there's no, and I don't even know where you can find cocaine in South Africa. Funny enough. I don't know.
That's good. Keep it that way.
So if General Kev sends you $10,000, what does it get spent on?
Oh, very easily I can give you a list. We've got a lot that we can spend on. So, like you were saying earlier, that we have to be good at our administration, know what we need beforehand, and literally, we always have a list of needs, from the priorities to the ones that are in the lowers. So whenever there is money allocated, like there is money that comes in, it already has a spot to go to. So the place that we cook, even the place where we are at, like the one thing that I can just make an example of is the electricity. So you can see us, the lights are on, that needs to be paid. There is cooking for the kids. That entails a lot of things. It's not just buying the food. There is the kitchen, there is the utensils, there is the gas that we need to use. So literally there is already a list that's already there, that we like, okay, this is what we need for us to do. We don't not even 3 months ahead. No, literally just day by day, and this week this is what we need, and then we go on from there. So yeah, do you want me to give you more examples?
Yeah, I mean, General Kev has to sell his kidney to get you that $10,000. So. General Kev says, sorry, can't send the cocaine. He says, I sold one a month ago. They grow back. Do kidneys grow back? I don't think they grow back. Joey, do they grow back? Joey?
Where's Joey?
He's muting us.
I'm typing in the chat.
Psychologist, not a doctor.
They do not grow back.
So Amanda, I know that the like with our community load, you'll spend $10,000 in under 3 minutes. So what do we do with money besides blackjack and hookers? when money comes into your account, what happens?
It immediately gets allocated to the sense of urgency bill that needs to be paid. Like, obviously, if we don't pay the electricity by a specific date, we start getting warnings. We are going to come and disconnect, and then you'll have to pay the reconnection fee as well. So that's always, as Mavis mentioned, top of the priority list, to pay the electricity to keep the lights on. Paying the internet. And the internet isn't just for one household, it's for a community. So it's an expensive package. It's also for the game, to keep the game development going 24/7. So we needed.
Well, that's a whole separate budget. We're talking about the NGO, Miluf.
Yes,
yeah,
I know.
Yeah. So go for it. So people would want to give directly to OSP. So this is what currently happens. All our money that we get gets spent on the NGO. So I want someone to give 10K to Mrs. Funk for the NGO, so that she doesn't have, so we can separate for once in our lives what we carry and what the NGO carries. So what? So if Kev says, going to ask, what does the money get spent on? So Mandy's mentioning community stuff, which is very important. Like the internet, what is that? That's like often like $1,500 to $2,000. Not internet, electricity. Just electricity to keep the community going that does it, because we house most of the volunteers, So then something like fuel, transport,
fuel, insurance, insurance, debit orders for the vehicles that we have, and for the property insurance is a big bill as well. And obviously food. We do get food sponsorships, but it doesn't cover all the bills. The school for the school fees for the kids in the community, extramural activities for the kids in the community. And you already mentioned fuel, but yeah, so it's whatever you can think of that any community needs to survive.
So people would ask
to look after the outside community as well. So it's our community that needs to be looked after, who looks after the greater community, which we also look after. But we can't look after them unless we can look after the community inside.
Yeah, so who
Keep
is this
them
community?
alive.
So the
Well,
community is like volunteers and people whose hearts are to work with young people, and often they've just left everything to come and join us. They've like Mavis. I mean, you earn huge salary. Yeah, and I mean, so yes, Mavis, she's one of the volunteers. She's a single mom raising 400 children. You get 3.5 kids, eh?
Yes.
The half
2.5.
is
2.5.
because we own half of Megan.
It's 2.5.
Only half of her time.
Yes.
Yes. So I mean, you don't need to live or eat or survive or raise your kids or pay for stuff like that. So part of what we want to do is just as realistically and honestly as possible help people understand the practicality of helping kids. And so I'm going to ask Mrs. Funk here. So if someone gives you $10,000, right, and zero let's say $0 gets to a single kid, how would you justify that? If all of it just, let's say $10,000, I'll answer that question now, General Kev. So how would you justify if someone here said, okay, here's $20,000 or $50,000, and not even 1 cent gets to a kid or a family? How would you? Hey Dom, how would you justify that? Why? Why would it not?
The people that need to get to that kid and family also need to live, and they need to be kept alive. So we have to pay the bills, which we all know any company, any household has bills. The bills have to be paid. The team needs to be kept alive. The team looking after the people out there. So that has to go first, and then whatever is additional will go to buying additional food for the community. As I said, we already have quite a substantial food donation that we get food on a daily basis to give to the greater community. However, we have a basic need of bills that need to get paid on a monthly basis. There's an existing running budget of things that have to be paid every month, and that's just normal.
And that's like so shocking for people. So General Kev says, I know volunteer work doesn't pay the essential bills, but have you ever considered woofing? Voluntary workers coming to help with their skills. So yes, we do that often, and they often stay. and because we're a very wholesome and fun community, you know. So here's the thing is most people can get a sponsor or two for maybe 6 months, or they can come on a visa for 3 months. But there are people who just do this their whole lives. They don't want to do anything else. They just want to either be feeding kids, taking care of kids, be in the schools, educating. When I say educating, I mean they actually go in and they talk to them about these awareness campaigns, you know. And then, you know, we do everything in our power then to say, okay, we will keep you alive. You know, we'll do it. We'll take responsibility so that you can do what's on your heart. You can go in and you know, like, I have to be honest, I'm not that guy. You know, I'm not the guy who sits there and holds, you know, some crying kid and there's snot everywhere, or this young man or woman have been through this terrible traumatic thing, where their trust was violated and terrible things happened to them. You know, I'm not that guy. You know, like, I prefer to make it possible for those people to do their thing, to be there holding and hugging. And, you know, I'm not a huggy guy. So Kev says, do you guys have allotments for growing food? Yes, we got a lot of property, but at a certain budget level. So we've done a lot of experiments with farming and stuff, and we got farmland, all that kind of thing. But until you hit a certain level, it is cheaper to buy food, and we get donated so much food that we don't, in large part, need to do it. Kev says, if I get there, I'll be expecting a bear hug. Yeah, I'll toss you a bear hug. So we, with all our experiments, realized that unless you farm at a certain level, it's more expensive to grow something to give to someone than it is actually to buy it from the shop. The manpower, the time, and people say, oh, it's easy, you can do it yourself. Well, you don't have our lives. Our lives are not 6-hour-a-day lives. It's not 8-hour-a-day lives. We have 20-hour-a-day lives, all of us. And to focus on game development, I had to take my responsibilities and dump it on the rest of the team and say, listen, for the next 3 to 5 years, I can only focus on the game development so that we don't have to worry about fundraising. And now suddenly there's a lot of them who have to carry all the insanity that I did. So on the food growing side of things, one of our great dreams that we have is to actually have an at-scale farm. And when we say at scale, we're talking something that is capable of handling upwards of 5,000 people a day. You know, can feed 5,000 people a day. So we have
hydroponics, aquaponics.
Yes, with the hydroponics, aquaponics, with the vertical farming strategies. Senior Joyce says 20 hours, stop being so humble. Feels like 28 and days only have 24. Yeah. Most days I tell Mandy I'm so tired.
More than once a day.
Yeah. So I mean, we at one stage we had corporate sponsors and we were running upwards, sometimes up to 150 volunteers and employees, averaged 75 upwards employees. And we kind of just let that go for a season because it just cost more than anything we could bring in to sustain that level of corporate. I mean, we had buses running, all that kind of thing, and so it was just, like we were spending upwards of $100,000 or $200,000 a month, and it was exhausting. It was because this isn't something where you can like hire and fire and whatever people. You're helping folks, and when you connect to someone's trauma, you also connect to their drama. And I think it'll be good. Shreyas, if you've got questions, you can prepare some, as I'm going to give you a shot at the mic on this particular subject after Joey. And I want to ask Joey this. As a psychologist and also someone that helps people, this statement, when you connect to someone's trauma, you also connect to their drama. Think of that at scale and just share your understanding of that statement.
So in psychology, there is a concept called the second-hand trauma, which means that if you're exposed to someone getting traumatized, you do get like second-hand trauma based on that person. So, for example, there's a shark movie, I forgot what the name was, where there's a big shark that keeps killing and eating people. There's a lot of kids that grew up in that time. I think it was around 2004, 2005, that got second-hand trauma just from watching this movie. So
Jaws.
yes. So when you really connect with someone who's been through something that's horrible, you unconsciously start getting some of that trauma onto yourself. And that's really part of how you are able to emphasize with these people, how you are able to connect with them, to understand what they're going through. And this is why you see people like Mavis, for example, or MrsFunk, that do these activities on a massive scale because they collectively garnished all of the trauma of these kids, and now they feel them themselves. So it pushes them to put a stop onto it. So in a way, if you are exposed to people who've been exposed to harsh things, you will feel the consequences partially onto yourself as well.
That's very, very good. Yes. And then there's the extended range drama. So you connect to their trauma, so that the drama of that trauma is going to affect you, because no human should go through that. And it's very difficult to reconcile what these kids go through. So MrsFunk, your experience, your understanding of when you connect to someone's trauma, you also connect to their drama.
There's a word called shedding, where you take on someone else's emotions. And I've over the years, I actually got taught by a psychologist that I can't carry everybody's traumas. And so I actually had to learn how to be able to listen, counsel, give the advice, walk away, and not expect the person to take my advice, but I've given the advice and then hope that they take the advice. So it's quite an art. It's not like you can just hold on to that thought every day and apply it every day, because sometimes you carry heavy, especially when there's a child that's in a current situation that's not solvable by you. You carry that burden like a mother or a father would carry that burden for their own children and solving their own children's problems. You carry it until you can actually do something to change it. So, and those kind of life changes cost a lot more money. That we're getting back to when we can build the orphanages and extract those kids into better situations. So on the one hand, when you're dealing with adults, you can do that, but when you're dealing with kids, to separate yourself from the situation when they're not in your household and know that they're going back to an abusive home or something like that, that's, I think, the toughest part. And you get involved with their drama because you get into that family and you try and counsel the family and try and help them bring resolution to their household traumas. And most of the time they don't listen to you, because who are you anyway telling them how to run their households? But that's how far we have to go to try and enforce change, like a positive change into most of these households.
Mavis. Meowvis.
Yes.
Often, part of the drama is that I'm going to make a statement and then you tell us what you understand by this statement. People are often initially grateful for the help and then later become angry because they think you could have helped more.
Yes. So when somebody is in poverty and they ask for help and you help them once, and then they ask for help the second time, and then you help them for the second time, and then they ask for help for the third time, and then you're like, okay, let me help you as much as I can, but when I can't, I won't be able to. Now they feel you can help me because you've helped me before. So when you can't help them anymore, they think you just don't want to because you were able to help them before when they needed help. So now they have a little bit of entitlement of saying, you had, why are you telling me that you don't have all of a sudden? That means your bank has money, but you choosing not to give it to me. Unfortunately. But they need the help, and in their eyes you are capable of helping because you've helped them before. So now they like hold on to you. You are their lifeline. So they get angry at you because now who's going to help me? Because most of their friends are also in poverty, they can't help them either. So yeah, that's what happens sometimes. It's not it's it will be ideal for people to just stay in a state of gratitude, of being grateful that somebody else helped me today, because nobody owes you anything. But because you don't have anything, your mind says, well, that person helped me, so they should help me again.
Yeah, exactly. No, we lost Shreyas. Let me just type here. No. About to get your thoughts, Shreyas.
He says, I'm back.
Is he back? Let me pop him up here. Yay, Shreyas. Okay, Shreyas.
Yeah.
So I know you're a developer, but I mean you're also a human, and listening to this conversation, I'm sure you've helped people before, and then they're kind of angry at you because they're angry at you because you helped as much as you could, not as much as they expected you to or wanted you to. What is so what are your thoughts about that whole vibe, of you helping people, or us, or whatever, helping folks, and then they've got this expectation for more than what you're able to give?
So what I think about that is, like, of course I've faced this kind of situations before, and what I believe is people have this goal. So there are like different types of people that I see. So people who want to, like, are like very goal oriented, so they want to get things done, they want to go there, they want to achieve something, and they don't care with how it is done, right? So maybe if you help them once, and if they see that they can help you go till there, then and you don't help them more while they could do it themselves, then they get angry at you, and you just cannot do anything with it because their mindset is go till there, right? But there are again other set of people who are very used to being dependent, and when you help them and you make them get used to helping them, because I feel that you as a person should also have that line until where you should help someone, because if you help them too much they get dependent on you, right? And once you stop providing, it's also a genuine human reaction to be angry at that you're not providing anymore, because they're now used to being dependent on you. So I feel it again comes down to the individual, which is what is your line until which you are okay with providing someone, and you also have to judge to keep that line so that you don't make them dependent on you. And yeah, this is what I feel, is that if you want to make sure you don't get into such situations where uh s- somebody might be angry at you, which is tough, right? Because you cannot actually gauge something which is based on emotion and empathy. So just make sure that you don't just help too much without showing them the path to work with themselves. And what I believe, one more thing to add is, don't just tell them, they tell this cook fish for someone and it would fill them for a day, but if you teach them fishing, they can do it for the lifetime, right? So
Yeah.
yeah, so just don't keep cooking the fish every single day for them, because once you stop they'll of course be angry at you because they're hungry, right? Instead, teach them on how they can go forward with themselves and sort things. Maybe they will be grateful for you at that point of time, even when you stop helping them, because you made them capable of themselves.
That's so wise. Thank you.
Very, very wise. Teach a man to light a fire, and you'll keep him warm for a day. Light him on fire, and you'll keep him warm for the rest of his life.
I feel
Oh my goodness. We have to pop out. Mavis and I have to pop out. We're 2 minutes late for our next.
Yes. So,
Yes.
Amanda, Mrs. Funk, and Meowvis, they're going to go jump on the X stream. And what we're going to do here is we're actually going to share the X stream on social media so you can hear the team there on X. And we'll share it on Arena Social and over here. So, Shreyas, if you want to keep jabbering to them, you can jump on stage, I believe, with them on X. Joey, quick parting thought before we go over to X. Love you, Amanda.
Bye.
You like a
Bye.
thing. Meowvis.
Yeah, this was a very insightful conversation, guys.
Yeah, it's fun. This is what we do on Tuesdays. So every day we do something cool and different and fun.
Amazing. Yeah, I love these Tuesday conversations.
All right,
Yeah,
all
we
right.
love
The
it.
family is coming here. Excited to see familiar faces.
Oh, let me put Mrs. Funk down the bottom there. Okay, Joey, some final thoughts, or are you already on the X stage?
I tuned onto the stage, but I'll wait a few minutes before I request to be a speaker. So, what kind of final thoughts do you want me to have?
I think just on this particular subject, on why OSP has got such an altruistic community. You know how why we all are so crazy.
I was in a spaces 2 hours ago, And I was talking about how OSP does this thing where we don't put the cart in front of the horse and we actually lead by example. And instead of asking people for money, time, favors, and use because you have to as a reason, we actually do the things ourselves and people rally behind us because we do that. And I think when you apply this mentality where you just lead by example, you will get people that identify with you, see you as a leader. They see you as someone who's replicating what their beliefs are. They will amplify you and they will literally die for you and walk with you wherever you go. So any project that has this kind of mentality, be it a game, be it an NGO on the ground, be it like any company, will definitely find more success than companies or NGOs or games that are entitled to have the success handed to them.
Amazing. Yeah, it's nice to be able to go into different stages and X things and stuff, and just talk about how, you know, we're not just building a game, we're building a very, very generous and awesome and kind community. And on that note, quick hello to Twitch, Lich T, and Dev, so who are making fun of me there. I don't blame you. I am getting old and tend to fall asleep on my feet. So we are now going to go over to the live. I'm going to broadcast the Spaces conversation that is happening right now with my wife, Mrs. Funk, and the team on Senior Choices X stage. If I can learn how to
All right, I'll
use
see you
the
there.
internet. All right, just Joey. Thanks for joining us, Shreyas.
Thank you.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Pleasure, man. Les toodles.
See you next.
Yeah, Tuesday we'll be on same time every day. Okay, let's share. I just gotta find Senior Choice here, man. Senior Choice. There he is. I'll share it all out to both platforms in a second. Where's it? Here we go. Listen live. And action. What? What am I listening to here? Hmm? Oh, wrong thing.
Right now with the community from next week. So if you are in Europe and you want to help and test us the server, so happy to onboard you and test the game and see what we are building. So that's quite. And also I have two amazing kids, so that's most important part.
So around the around the kids, like one of the things that I have seen you guys doing recently is the collection around autism awareness. Could you touch a bit on that?
Yeah, so basically, my younger daughter Tammy was diagnosed when she was 2 years old with autism, and in combination with autism and ADHD. So it was, from that moment, it was very frustrating to before I have literally zero knowledge about what autism is and all the obstacles and challenges, not just for the kids but also for the parents. And because we have two girls, and also the siblings, how they live together, and also the spending, and you basically literally spending most of your time for raising this autistic girl and the kids, because it's definitely need way more of your time. And that's why we decided to build with my wife these personal projects where we will be putting a lot of effort and support for the kids working with autistic organization. And we just don't want to just build this digital brand, we also want to build the physical brand, because we understand from the moment where we are living that there is definitely lack of awareness for autism, lack of quality of the hospital centers, all these therapies like ABA therapy, speech therapies, and all the stuff. It's you basically have almost, if you have no money or resources, or are not like really trying and searching a lot of on the internet, you have literally no one single platform where we can learn about all these new methods. And as a parents, you will do everything for your kids. So basically with the Tamitos, this is basically this project is named after the autistic daughter, and we want to build the awareness around the autistic and help the people with awareness in the funny way. So what's, because you also need to build something which is fit for the audience, and because crypto is full of like degens and meme coins and all the stuff, so we want to build in funny way education video about the autism, because if you scream autism, nobody listen until it's really until they're facing these autism issues. So we want to build this brand which basically not screaming autism, which scream fun. And once you get in, you will understand that, oh, it's autism, it's helping. It's not just fun, but it's fun which really helping and solving something. Like PG Penguins nail it with having and building this brand of the fun and enjoy of the Web3. With the Tamitos, we want to build the face of the empathy in the Web3.
I love that, Russ. That's amazing. To throw in an icebreaker question, and since you're so into gaming, I think this is going to be a simple answer for you. But do you believe that gaming can change lives beyond the screen?
You mean for these autistic kids?
For pretty much everybody.
Yeah, like I would say, like definitely, like gaming is something which definitely change the way or like mentality. So you see that if some kids playing a lot of shooter games, they can have some violence aspect and so on. So definitely it has something to do with what you're playing, what you're seeing, who you are with friends and so on. So yeah, all of this part is definitely forming you as a person. So that's why we want to build also the games which are not just like violence but also with education aspect.
Amazing, Russ. Appreciate that. I'm going to pass it around the panel because we have so many guests today. I'm going to continue with the ladies. So, Mrs. Funk, Amanda, I'm going to give you the time to intro yourself, to intro a little bit about the costume. We're gathering here 2 different gaming projects that are aiming to have real world impact and keep kids safe. And, there's a big why behind. So that's why the title for today is Driven by Love, Powered by Gaming. It's like we're connecting worlds and we're, through gaming, changing lives of people around us. So the mic is yours for your introduction.
Good evening or morning or afternoon. It's evening for me, everybody. Lovely to be here again. Nice to meet the new faces and, the new names. We don't see the faces. I'd also just let you know, Sir Choice Mavis was in, but she came in under the OSP account, so she's coming back in as Mavis because you wouldn't have recognized her under the OSP NGO. So we are the founders of OSP Tower Defense, Operation Safe Place Tower Defense, and also OSP NGO. The Tower Defense game was created to eventually fund the NGO, and our NGO looks after a lot of kids. Our heart is for youth and young people, but especially girls. So our slogan and the slogan in the game is every girl safe. So that's our heart.
Our heart is to help as many kids as we can in this region and then spread out across the world eventually. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you for being here, Amanda. Appreciate it. The short but sweet intro. I think that Kat is the perfect lady to dive deeper into the vision of what the NGO is doing. I think that Ross is probably first time listening about what's happening on the NGO. But yeah, this is a space where it's not just about gaming, it's about gaming and playing to change lives. And I think that these projects are pretty aligned. So Kat, drop us your intro, who you are, and give us more alpha on the NGO side of things.
Hey, thanks, Sir Choice, and thanks all for having me. It's great to be back with you all. And Ras, just to say thank you so much for sharing about what you're doing. That is really exciting. I love the idea of you creating awareness through, for autism through educational games and, through what you want to do in the Web3 world. So that's awesome. And yes, so I guess I am one of the battlefront commanders on the ground with Operation Safe Place. Head up a team, and we do it's just the most amazing, life-giving work. I think I'm really honored to be part of it. We keep kids safe during the school holidays where they have nowhere to go. We make sure that they have 3 meals a day where they will have training and care and fun and all sorts of great things happening. And so kids love coming on our camps. We also run courses in the week. We also have a school that we run during the weekdays, and that is also really amazing. We have some of our kids there that come and just really enjoy it. Really, it's just a place where they can be themselves, but where they can also learn and grow and challenge each other and grow in leadership skills and entrepreneurial skills and all sorts. We go into the townships, we do feeding schemes, we do handing out all sorts of baby packs and packages at the hospitals, going to see women who are just about to go into labor or who are have just had babies. So we go and try and help wherever we can. It's really just making a difference in whatever way we can. So we just want to be like hands and feet to go out and make whatever difference in the world. What I love about the game and what I love about your, what you've called Play to Change, driven by love, powered by gaming, is I love it where the two worlds connect. Sir Choice, you were saying the fact that people can play Operation Safe Place, knowing that at the very time that they're enjoying gaming and having a great time, that they're actually making a difference in the real world for these kids every day, which is really exciting for us. And the fact that, my son, who's 14, can go and play this game, having a great time, also knowing that he's making a difference for the very the friends and friends around him that actually come to these camps. He comes to these camps, so it means a lot to them. I can't wait until the game goes live, because I think we're going to get our kids involved. We're going to try and set up some PCs and things where they can actually go and play, and then they're going to know that this game that they're actually playing is making a difference to keep them safe, to keep them being able to have a place to come to learn, to grow. So Ras, something I was talking about last week was just that it's a very difficult place. South Africa can be one of the most dangerous places in the world for young girls, and sometimes parents, a single mom will have to decide and choose between staying at home and looking after her kids, and they all starve because she's not making any money, or she'll have to choose to go into work, and then basically the kids will have to fend for themselves. And it might be little children on their own, and then they are really vulnerable to any kind of attack, any kind of, being taken advantage of, all sorts. So often parents have to choose between two evils. And we are trying to trying our best to be to make it to a place where the mother didn't have to make that difficult decision, where she can send her child on camp and where she can still make money for her family. So we're trying to bridge the gap. And I love that this game and the gaming world can bring such change. So that is me. Thank you for having me. And I'm signing off. I'll go quiet.
Thank you so much. Appreciate all the breakdown, Kat. You make it in such a fast and simple way. Appreciate that. All right, I'm gonna move to Mr. Console. He's the Vega heart of the Vega Arcade community. And to break the ice, my brother, are you a believer of gaming changing lives beyond the screen? Quick yes or no, and an intro of who you are.
Yeah, that's actually a pretty good question. I can say yes and no. Gaming can change lives, it can also destroy lives. We need to always encompass that open mind that comprehends both sides of the arguments. Gaming has changed my life. I hope that is the same tone for everybody in these spaces. My quick introduction is Mr. Console, community lead. I stopped terming myself community manager since a choice corrected that. I'm community lead of Bigger Arcade. We're a community that play web browser games that are apparently assets you can own. Yeah, really interesting games there. I'll keep it that brief. I love the introductions. I love listening in. Shout out to everybody in the room. Driven by Love, episode 5. So proud of the fact that I've not missed a single episode yet. Nor will anything, even being in the hospital, make me miss a single episode. Short answer, yes. Long answer, it depends. Gaming can do good and bad, depending how we
100% on
wield
board.
that power.
Yes, brother, definitely. I've witnessed that myself when I had the gaming center, you know. Sometimes you had them guys that would have their parents pay for private university, and instead of taking them classes, they would just stick to the screen and play nonstop. I remember self-advising them to go to their classes, and then when they were done with their exams and stuff, they could come and play. But yeah, often when it's out of control, it can be dangerous. But I hope that the impact that gaming has brought to the people in this community and audience is rather positive than negative. So yeah, man, it's a double-edged sword for sure, like most things in life, that you need to know to control the excess. But all right, Joy is, I will summon the psychologist Joy today because this is an emotional space where we're connecting the two worlds, but you also have the digital side. Like, you're a very special case, Joy Habibi, because you are blending the two sides of, you know, two very different industries by being a DJ, but also a psychologist at the same time. So drop us your intro, and do you believe that we can change lives through gaming?
Hey, thank you for the introduction, Sir Choice. I love that every time I'm on a space with you, you tell me, like, from the beginning, like, Joey, don't be a Habibi nor a DJ, now you have to be a psychologist. I'm like, okay, great. I would love to know. So, nice to meet you, everyone. I'm Joey. I'm the Web3 Director of Operation Safe Place. I'm currently working on whatever is Mint related in Operation Safe Place and in Citadel. So everything that you see related to the Mint, to assets, to new NFTs being released, to tokens, this is all either because of me or it's all my fault. So I'm the guy you come to whenever there's something related to NFTs. To answer your questions and your choice, I think gaming can indeed change lives. It has definitely changed my life. I think there are many aspects to gaming where if you are able to find a balance between identifying when it's a good time to game and when it's a good time to not game, I think you can you can have your cake and eat it too, you know. And really, with having a game that allows people to monetize their attention and not just monetize it from a personal benefit perspective, but to also know that you're doing good because you're gaming makes this so special. So I would like imagine like I'm someone who has around, okay, you're going to laugh, but I have around 7,000 hours on Dota. And I used to game like 16, 17 hours per day in my late teenage years. And I've paid some money on the game. So while building Operation Safe Place, I feel judged by Kate, by the way. She's like, oh my God, what is my son doing right now? I should be careful. So while building Operation Safe Place, I started seeing like what would have happened if I was playing Operation Safe Place instead of the other game I mentioned. And because of the models, because of the business model of Operation Safe Place, the money doesn't just go to the institution. The money doesn't just go to Gabe Newell, who's the founder of Valve. The money goes to people who need it. And this adds really this extra layer, the thing that you needed for gaming, which is for it to have meaning beyond just the traditional socializing and working on your reflexes kind of stuff. It has meaning because you're actually helping people while you're gaming. So I think we're creating something new. I think no one has ever did something like that on that scale. And we're doing a social experiment. And I think it's our responsibility to make sure that it does way more good than any possible harm. And one of the key things that I'm going to try to work on in the next phases of the game, maybe in a year or two, is actually try to see from a psychological perspective how we can make the game balanced in terms of people not getting addicted to it, not being forced to play for long hours, like World of Warcraft, for example, where people would have to play for 3 or 4 days on a row, or Destiny to finish specific missions. So I'll work on that to make sure that people are having enough time to play on the game, but at the same time balance it with their real life programs.
I appreciate it, Habibi. Thank you so much for the introduction. All right. X has been trying to rug me like 5 times, but we're not surrendering here. I think that everyone in this panel has that never surrendering attitude, but we're not done. Maybe I'm going to pass it to you to say hello to everyone, to introduce yourself. And I also throw a question at you, which is the first time that you heard from Amanda and from Unks saying that they will create a game that will fund the NGO. What came to your head?
Hi, everybody. Thank you, Say Choice. Thank you for having me here. I am Mavis. I'm part of the Operation Safe Place NGO team. So I am not a gamer to begin with. I think the games that I've ever really played were like puzzle games, and I'm not even much of, not even really good at that. But I try here and there. I play once in a very long time. So when I heard Uncle Funk and Mrs. Funk saying that they're going to create this game where it's going to fund the ministry, it was new to me. It was kind of a new world for me. And then I started looking at the testing and then playing, and then that was a while ago. And and hearing more and more about it, I realized that this was a really, really amazing opportunity for us as an organization and for the youngsters that we disciple. So it was like a new thing to me, but that I grew to love because of what it's going to do in many people's lives. Yeah, thank you.
Thanks to you, Mavis. All right, I think that the Citadel, and it's going to be Jason behind that amazing and powerful place that's going to be home to many communities. Jason, drop us your intro, a little bit about what the Citadel is, and I'm sure that you've got some questions for us.
Absolutely. I'm Jason. I'm one of the CE Bros co-founders of Citadel and OSP. And I've been in the crypto space since mid 2016. So RAS really resonate with seeing the bulls, the bears, the bulls, the changing in markets, narratives, the ups, downs, dramas, and everything that we have had to suffer through whilst pushing through in this interesting space. And what the Citadel is it's a hub. It's an ecosystem of ecosystems. We were originally building this as Myth 3 years ago, met the Operation Safe Place team, and as with many GameFi projects, back then, all of the difficulties that we were having to overcome. So we joined forces, merged companies, and came up with something, where there's strength in numbers and brilliant visions coming together. The platform serves as a content aggregator, as a discovery layer for other Web3 and traditional games. It's there to support pretty much any project that wants to be a part of something bigger, where the support is unconditional. So from indie studios, Web3 studios, Web3 indie studios that are building, that want to be in a place of maximum discoverability, and a home for players to access all of the necessary tools that they could require, be it for building out their own guilds, clans, communities, and for indie studios to do exactly the same. So for building communities from within the platform, aggregating multiple chats, simplifying the whole growth process as well. Because we care about gaming, and the one thing that sets Web3 apart is the strength that communities have. It is not easy being a first-time founder or a second-time founder, and it's not easy building anything in gaming at this current time. Everything seems to be pretty stacked against the gaming industry as a whole right now. But it's all about banding together and providing the right tools and the right energy for those that are genuinely building and genuinely care about the industry and moving it forward. So yeah, that's us in a nutshell. With Operation Safe Place as our flagship game, it really is just incredible to have a game that has abstracted in such a creative way the purpose of the NGO into its own universe, and built, something that is quite incredible considering the resources, in this third-person shooter tower defense game. And Ras, one for you. I've seen you now. I cannot remember when I began following Corpo, Citizen Conflict, Animate, but it's been quite a while. The question is, how have you psychologically dealt with the ups and downs being a founder that actually cares about community? Because I've seen everything has been done community first with Corpo. How have you dealt with these ups and downs where so much, for example, of the timeline, the only thing that they have cared about for so long has been the price action, which is ultimately something that is very, very much out of founders' hands during severe market downturns and, well, including the upturns. How have you dealt with that? Like, what has been the biggest struggle for you on that front?
So from the very beginning, I would say that you need to care about token like it's separate product, and of course, like building quite sometimes already. First days are the most difficult. First weeks, you are happy every single day when it's going up, and you are crying and and sad when it's going down because you live with it, and then you understand that the community basically they was living and we still living in like really different like misconceptions about the Web3 gaming or performance of the token, or like we got like this high FDV or like small market cap and big FDV ratio and so and so. and all these play to earn and play to airdrop campaigns and so on. So all these, I would say, narrative challenges, and I've been here from 2016, so I get from like ICOs to IOs to EAOs to everything basically, and then you understand for quite some time that everything is just noise, and only what community needs is you be there for them and to see, even when it's like token going to zero, you are there, you shipping, you showing the team, you showing your face. I think so that I recently made also even the post that I don't believe about like undoxed funders and teams and so and so. You cannot trust in long term. I will not trust this. That's my opinion. And like I would say, like we decide to build a community on showing the team, building the tone house, showing what we are building day to day. Even the token is not performing, but great. We are here for you, and basically we transparently show also our funds, also our, let's say, the funds we have for next 2 3 years for making this happen for the community. I think so. This is big difference because we've been from the very beginning. We've been not finding shortcuts, and you can see now on the Web3 gaming, like how many studios way big funding already, shut the door, already like don't even deliver one game while we are building 2 games and platform and marketplace and have, I don't know, like 50 different smart contracts live. So we're not just like building the game, but we're building the game for Web3 from very beginning, because many here in the space don't even launch like single fucking NFT. So they don't brings anything for the Web3. They just, looking for some plugins on Unreal Marketplace, looking for some like, frameworks they can really buy and showcase and provide some demos, raise crazy funds and so and so. And all this make it difficult for builders here, because like, to be honest, like, I would say average investors or average gamer, they don't understand these details. They don't understand what is like really built from scratch and what kind of art style you have and what you can just plug and buy and plug in from market and have this, we saw this drama on the live shooter quite some time. We saw this drama in recently to Star Atlas and so and so. So yeah, like I would say that all this make it very difficult for price action and for token going up, because all these community members, they want to believe you, but they are scared and they get scammed too many times. And I think so the most important and difficult is that be here and be transparent. Like if you have money for like 1 year, just say that you have money for 1 year and you just use it for building. And really you need to also and also like one more difficult part is that people are really compare like Web3 studios with the budget on the indie side. Because to be honest, like there is no AAA games maybe off the grid. Others are just like indie quality or trying to be like AAA, but maybe maximum with the budget, but not with the quality. And the biggest difference is, yeah, there are good indie games which I make for, I don't know, 1 2 million budget, which is doable price in Europe and Asia, and we make 2 million amazing game for indie. And but making it for Web3, you need to spend money on market maker, you need to spend money on trading, you need to spend money on the cows and traders, because it's completely different strategy. Your token is different. So also like this all this, like I would say, education for investors, or education for like retail, or education even on this this let's say rather big cows, which like doing all these stupid rankings, and without like proper education or proper understanding about like, okay, I'm going to do ranking of side games, but is the same difficulty to make single player games or multiplayer games? Is it same difficulty to do like, I don't know, TCG and making the RPG or MMOs? And all these MMOs we are calling in this space are just crazy. So I would say like most difficult part is really, slowly be there for community, also try to educate these average investors and traders that what building has the value and has also the meaningful, I would say, the utility and utility for the blockchain.
That's yeah, that's the answer that I was expecting from you. Because it's when you're building something for the long term and you show up every day, in the end, that is what will win in this space when it comes to Web3 gaming. Because as you say, people they've got, over the past few years, very skewed views on how projects deliver returns on their and I quote, investments. And I mean, from our side, you know, we're very blessed to have the team that we have, because led by the the never tiring Uncle Funk, who is quite literally live streaming game development, the ups and the downs, every single day, which is it's very unique. And you know, it's part of our vision on educating people. We want people to see, you know, what really genuinely goes into game development and even the platform development as well. Because, you know, as I say, education is crucial. So you need all of the moving parts that are a part of a community or backing you to be able to understand what you're doing and, you know, begin to see it from a different light. The space is maturing. I wouldn't say it's maturing as fast as some of us would like, but I think we're getting there. We have broken out of a bit of a lull, and a lot of the overly funded bad projects are dying out, and it's leaving room for those that are genuinely just here to build businesses and product, which is great to see.
100%. I'm loving it. I do have a follow-up question to Russ, who is our special guest today. And it's, in general, you know, many people believe that the real change requires big organizations with huge funding to come into play. But from your experience, what are the small actions that truly make that difference?
I would say, like, you know, I start from 0 to 100 employees. We scale, like, you know, as a team, then we like really stabilize around like 70, 60 employees. You can see, like, it's not about like scaling and then having the big team, especially now with the age of AI, where you can consume prototyping very fast. Yeah, AI is not there yet. It's very good for prototyping, so that's why you can have more smaller and like leaning teams, so you can do and iterate faster. Also, I more like the startup cultures where you have like really, you know, more, I would say, you know, dynamic type of the stand-ups and dynamic type of like the developments, you know, the schedules and so and so. So I would say, like, that's biggest difference and the most difficult part of building any team from 0 to hundreds or any scale is like convince the quality and convince these high quality developers about Web3, and also balance these high quality developers with like young people and so on. So because you cannot build the team only about like the seniors and so on. So it's not sustainable if you don't have enough funding. And also, like, to be honest, some of them are lazy. My experience that working with any developers and team members, it's not about the skills. Most important is passion. And if you have a passion, especially now, you can learn anything. So I would say you need to build the team which really passionately loving what you try to achieve. That really love that the Web3 can brings additional value for the community. It's not just like some money laundering or like just having this ownership, but it's really value for community because, you know, be able to own and monetize your gaming experience, it's really huge, and people will understand it at the moment where the quality of the game will be on the same level. As I always say, like, if there is a Fortnite and Fortnite with Web3, everybody will be playing Fortnite with Web3 because it's give you additional value to monetize your experience. And we are not yet there with the quality to compete like all these AAA games and so and so. But once we reach this quality to compete with all these games, and I think the layer of Web3 it will standard that every single games will provide this value. And yeah, hope I answer.
Yeah, for sure. And now we're speaking the same language because I do believe as well that passion is what drives people. You could have all of the experts on whatever matter is. If they're not passionate about your project, if they don't share the vision and the mission, they're not going to be really putting in what they can bring to the table. All right. I'm going to open a question for whoever wants to raise the hand. For those who don't know how to raise their hands, you click on the heart emoji and then you will see the hand right on the right side. And the question goes, if you could inspire one person in this space to act today, what would you want them to do first? And it goes to anyone who wants to raise their hands first. What would be the CTA for people that is part of the community, for people that wants to be involved in the community, and for people that is just coming around the community? Go for it, Jay.
I would say if like anyone that wants to get involved with anything, just start asking questions. That is literally it. I mean, that was the beginning of my journey back in 2016. I had no idea. I had actually gone into Web3 for trading, and discovered communities, and I just fell in love with participating in communities because I just kept on coming across so many like-minded people. So for anyone getting started, don't be afraid to ask questions, regardless of what kind of community it is. Just ask, and based on the responses, you'll be able to kind of gauge, is this vibe what I'm looking for? Yes, no. Am I being approached with answers that I don't really feel are going down the right path? Then just keep on searching, because sometimes communities really resonate, and off the back of that you discover product and project. So interact with community members, ask people, because in the majority of communities, especially in Web3, there are tons of community members that are as well versed on the projects themselves as the very founders. In our own community, we're lucky enough to have people that have been with us since like 2017 through every project that we've been a part of. And with OSP, the same. People have joined and come in. People have discovered us on live streams, started asking questions, all the way up to being a really important part of our community, with, let's say, all of the upside that being a part of a startup can bring. So yeah, just don't be afraid of asking questions, and introduce yourself. Literally just tell people what it is you're looking for.
Amazing, Jay. Appreciate that. Russ, I saw your hand. I will appreciate your response. But to add to it, I will also make a follow-up question.
Yeah, basically, very quick. I will just say, like, the CTA for me is like I always said the team, that more doing, less planning. I'm not saying that you shouldn't plan at all, but like there is never perfect time for anything. There is always some obstacles, and you only get perfect by being terrible from very beginning. So if you want to do something, just do it right away, and you will learn the process during that path. It's long journey, and if you really are passionate about something, just go ahead and try to do it.
Amazing. Appreciate that, Russ. All right. Amanda, you've been walking alongside with Uncle Funk for a lifetime, and it's been 25 plus years of marriage, I believe. Now, most of the world just see games as entertainment or disconnection from reality, right? Dopamine, emotions. How do you see it becoming a tool for real change?
It's actually been 27 years of being alongside that amazing man. For me, it's a real tool, because it's going to answer the problem for many people in our region. And I definitely married a person, a philanthropist, a person who's an altruist and cares about what happens to humanity. So as far as driven by love, powered by gaming, that's how I see him. He's driven by the love for mankind, and his love for mankind is going to be powered by gaming. Exactly that. We are going to give 10% of all the proceeds of what comes in through the game to the NGO, who's going to make a massive impact on this community. So does that answer your question? Do you want to add something else to ask?
100%. No, that's perfect. That's the answer. I think that it's something that the community needs to be aware of. It's no matter where the money's coming from players, from investors, always the 10% is gonna go right away for the NGO, which is amazing. Russ, you also want to create big impact on your community, and coming from your experience as the father of a little girl with autism, what is that you want your players to experience, and how do you want their lives to be changed when they jump into animate or see?
I would say that's the
We're talking a little bit about it.
yeah, like also like topic.
Yeah, go for it.
Yeah, like topic is here. Space is driven by love, and basically, I think so that if you're building any game, you start with the story and lore about the what you are building, and basically the animates lore and the story is basically reflecting the way how the world is changing. You know, I am the kids of the 90s, and basically I was like first generation, which we grew up on the Pokemon franchise in 1996-7, and basically, and this is what you see compare when you compare like Pokemon story, amazing fantasy world. Everything was so beautiful. The nature was there, and everything was people and creatures living with the harmony and so on. So in any way, we try to reflect just how this like 30 years later the world is completely changing, and like you see all these machines, AIs, robots, and the main motto is not God to save them all, sorry, the God to catch them all, but the God to save them all. And this is exactly what we try to kind of achieve in the world, that the creatures need to be saved, and also the story is different. So it's not just like violence and shooting and everything, it's also the saving the animate and story. So we of course want, by playing the game, we want also people be a little bit get back to the harmony with the world and so and so.
Amazing, love that. So I love the fact that we're bringing projects every week now that are understanding that blockchain technology, Web3 overall, it's a really good tool to help with wealth distribution, knowledge distribution, and therefore it's just so powerful. And it's hard to come by real builders that are indeed driven by love, or that are heavily influenced by their personal stories, that are coming and putting their emotions in the table. So I'm really thankful to you for making the time to come and share with us in the space. The time is always flying so fast whenever I'm hosting these spaces. Maybe it's because I just have such a good time listening to all of them stories and all of them takes. But yes, I think that we're 9 minutes before we have to wrap up this session, being mindful of everybody's time. So I'm going to give room for some CTAs, and I want them NGO ladies to continue screaming it louder. I think that we have to repeat this weekly, daily, or at least, for Afera, for Lucille, we want to keep every girl safe. Now, what's that call to action? For me, it would be kindness is free, a smile is free, supporting a cause is free. Whether you have money to invest in it or not, you're still welcome to be part of something bigger than yourself. Maybe you don't have the budget to support financially, but you can bring your vibes, you can bring your experience, you can bring your knowledge. Like Jason was saying, introduce yourself, show up, get involved. I think that overall human beings always have the need to connect with other people that's aligned with their vision. And I think that we're gathering together a cohort of people that is fighting for the right reasons and for something that's bigger than all of us together, which is causing real life impact. And this is what's going to make this industry so powerful and unstoppable. So I'll start passing it around the mic. Maybe what would be your call to action for anybody who tuned in to listen to Play to Change episode 5, driven by love and powered by gaming?
Thank you, Sir Choice. I love what you say, that kindness is free and smiling is free. I love smiling. And I think it actually makes you get less wrinkles than having your face always serious or angry. Anyway, I would like to say, don't be afraid to start. Even if you fail, pick yourself up and keep going. You will find the right place and where you fit in perfectly where you need to be. But if you give up, you won't get to that place. So that's my call to action today. Thank you.
Thanks to you, Mavis, for making the time, for honoring us with your presence in the space. Kat, what would be your call to action? What would you encourage everybody tuning in or listening to the recording space afterwards?
So yeah, like you said, even if you don't have money, being part of it, being in any way, just coming on, sharing what we're doing, talking about it, having good vibes. It's basically a ripple effect. It can become a ripple of hope for somebody. So partnering with us in any way, whether it's through funds, yes, absolutely, we can use funds. Whether it's just through sharing, being a part of the network, be the reason that somebody can find the light in the darkness. Be the hope somebody needs. And compassion, I love, like the meaning for me is like love in action. So if you can show that kindness, if you can be that hope, you basically turning that love into action, making that compassion real. So yeah, join us in whatever way you can.
Love it, Kat. And for all of the people that is applying for the ambassador role that we have announced recently in our socials, that's the message that you need to listen to. So we need to clip that part. You need to bring all of your passion. You need to rally with us. And you need to understand that we're fighting for a bigger reason. So you want to be part of this and you want to be able to grow with us. This is the time to join our community, to be part of something, and to put in the table everything that you have and to maximize and amplify the light. So the saying was perfect. So you can become that person that will show where's the light in the darkness. Appreciate that, Kat. Alrighty, Mr. Council, I'm sorry that we didn't get to hear much of your amazing voice, but I'm sure that you got some wrap-up thoughts for our session. So the microphone is yours, my brother.
Oh man, buddy, I'm actually starting to believe what you and Kat are telling me. Maybe I do have a good voice. That's something I'll definitely explore. Sadly, I hate playing back my recordings, and I'm sure a bunch of you are the same. Whenever you send an audio, you're not playing it back because what? How do I sound so high pitched? Or why did I say that way? Right? On my side, my call to action is going to be to ask everybody to spend time with a little girl. I think when you do, and when you just put yourself in a space that allows you to connect, allows you to feel their heartbeat, allows you to listen, you will truly, fully appreciate the vision and mission of Operation Safe Place. Last weekend, my niece, my one and only niece, turned 7. And I can tell you for free, before she was delivered to this earth, I was rough. I didn't understand women. I didn't understand this delicate flower. And so my call to action is just, hey, you have a niece, you have a friend, you have a cousin, you have your daughter, even your wife to some extent, or girlfriend, right? They still have that inner child in them. Spend time without judgment, spend time listening, and you will truly come back running at such choice and telling him, take my money. Miss Funk, take my money. I want to support this mission because what you guys are doing, protecting our girls in this world, not just in South Africa, because everything is interrelated and interconnected. What you guys are doing, keeping this girl safe, is truly, truly something we all owe to support. So thank you, Sir Choice. I enjoy listening. I enjoy the discussions here. Episode number 5, and I can't wait for episode number 500. I will be here every single day.
Appreciate your big time, Mr. Council. Thank you so much for all of the good vibes, for all of the love, and for all of the support. You are a legend, my man. It was a pleasure being with you in the stream earlier. Keep them coming too. Kudos to you. Now, Water Cat will not only be able to listen to your voice, but she will also be able to see that handsome guy. I'm gonna ping her with the stream so that she can play it back. All right. We continue going around the room. Jason, I'm gonna pass it to you before I go to Mrs. Funk and to Ross to close us up.
Well, we've got mix only beats up here now as well.
Well, yes,
So,
and he's gonna drop our closing
so-
song too.
yes. How's it going? Makes only beats.
Hey, doing awesome. Sorry I only cut you guys halfway through, but better late than never.
That's all good, man. I actually have a question for you because you began to get involved off the back of the Arena Social streams.
Yeah.
What was it? Because like there's a few in the crowd here that are the same. What was it that that you latched onto? Like, you know, it's like I drop into a lot of streams, I take part in a lot of spaces, and you know, oftentimes there's stuff that resonates. So what was it for you?
I think it was a combination of a number of things. I just started recently getting into spaces and lives and trying to figure out how to do my own. And a friend of mine had a space, and so just kind of doing a lot of research on what makes a good stage, what makes a good live, right? And so just going through the list there, Funk Show showed up, so it was like day 3 or something like that. So I jumped on there and I was like, hey, this is kind of cool. This is different. You can tell someone being real and authentic versus, just shilling their stuff, trying to get people to join their cause. There's a difference. And so I paid attention for a number of days, and I just kept coming back, and people in the community were awesome and nice and welcoming. Funk was fun, always playing the music, and just kind of got hooked. And all of a sudden it's over 100 days later, and we've been it's kind of crazy how much happens in just that short amount of time. But I think it was providence and meant to be, because it coincides with some of my projects and things that I'm working on. So all the above, that's my reason.
That's a great reason. I mean, I was on a space. Wow, what is it? Probably a year. A year. Wow, we actually might be a year. Yes, a year this week when I met Funk.
Okay.
Oop. So
We had your hot mic, Amanda.
Mrs. Funk, you're on loud.
Sorry, my daughter.
We love it. Don't worries.
Yeah, it was a year this week when I first met Uncle Funk, and then the rest of the team. I met him on a Twitter space, and yeah, it was a unique, let's say, a unique energy around him that immediately DM'd, we need to have a meeting. And that same evening we had a meeting, and from pretty much that week onwards, everything that we have here today has become. So yeah, it's sometimes when you come across something and you're open to it and you want to sort of discover more, just go ask the question. Like, is what I was saying before. Sometimes something will just click, and something clicked in the best of ways, and now 2 amazing communities have come together under one house. And yeah, it's been an incredible journey. As far as CTAs, when it comes to projects that have been, literally showing up on a daily basis, I would highly recommend for everyone to follow RAS, follow Corpo, and everything that they're building. There are genuine builders out there, and the more support all of them get, the better. To follow everything that we're doing, there's a lot of announcements. There's big announcements coming up, and the launch of the platform, as well as the rolling out of the alpha that we have with Operation Safe Place. So just keep an eye. There's plenty of ways to get involved with everything. And I will now pass the mic over to Mrs. Funk.
Okay, sorry about that, everyone. I really loved what Mr. Console said. Thank you for that. I love the fact that he sees the value in women and in girls and spending time with girls. My call to action for everyone listening now and in the future is find someone that you can help, that you go beyond yourself to help someone else, whether it's in a small or a big way, whatever you're able to do. And so you can grow your ability to help people. And I wanted to give a shout out to Raz and his game as well. And I want to end by saying that autism isn't a disease to be cured, but a difference in how someone's brain is wired. And so that awareness that you're bringing is going to make such a massive difference to all the autistic children out there. Over and out. Thank you, everyone.
Amazing, Amanda. Thanks to you. On these spaces, I always feel like I'm just the guy getting people together, but you guys are the real gems. It's just so much value and so much emotions during every session, but I also don't want them to stop. Much love. Thank you for joining us. Ras, I'm going to pass it to you to wrap us up with your final thoughts on this space. And yeah, the doors are always open for you to come back. I'm going to be setting up a group so we can start gathering speakers together for these spaces and the third spaces too, because we run the Play to Change series every Tuesday, 6 p.m. UTC, but then we run the Citadel series every Thursday, same time. Your final words, your goodbyes. Thank you for helping for the time. But yeah, wrap us up with your takes.
Yeah, like really appreciate you guys for inviting me in here. And basically, yeah, this was like great talks. And I'm really impressed and like surprised with like, this is not about the gaming, it's way more like helping and sharing, and really appreciate to be here. Also, what you mentioned, Mrs. Funk, about these autistic kids is something where what you really, as a father of the autistic daughter, this is basically something what you learn every single day, that only what's matters is the health, and everything else is just your journey, and you just you just keep getting better and in improving. So really appreciate to be here, and wish you a lot of success in the future, all the spaces that you will be growing your community and so and so, and also wish you that you will be lucky, that you and your family will have health all the time during this journey, because it's going to be definitely a long journey. Have a nice day.
Thank you, Ras. You as well. Blessings to your family and your loved ones. All right, Joshua, my brother, mi hermano, you wrap us up with this community-made song for our space. We didn't have it at the start, but we'll have it at the closing. I leave you all with the beat that makes only beats created for us.
And, all right, I'm gonna push a button and hopefully it works. Can you hear music?
Yep.
Yay!
In a world full of darkness, the light breaks through. The more hearts that gather, the brighter the view. The cult of awesomeness stands strong and true. Changing lights daily, building something new. We don't just talk, we quest and play. In a real world way, no evil is welcome, no shadows remain. We fight with the light in every domain. We came with purpose and we won't step back. Together we thrive, always on track. We press start together, controllers in hand. Gaming for change, making a stand. Come join our squad. The Citadel calls and we answer as one. We look after each other, revive and support. From digital battle to real world report. scoreboards of fame. Every mission we take has a purpose, a name. We're healing through gameplay, designing with care, where every new player finds safety there. So come rally with us, bring your spark to the fight. Together we're stronger, guiding the light. From pixels to people, we shift and race. This is play to change, where game brings change.
Shout out to everybody in the audience. Shout out to all of the family in the panel. Much love and blessings to all of you. Thanks for accompanying us, for being part of this cause. Together we're stronger. We're playing to change. Cheers, everybody. Stay safe.
Yeah, dee. That was very good. La dee dee. Ma dee dee. La la dee. Imagine just ending a stream without like saying anything, or you know what I'm saying. Like, can you imagine just pushing the end stream button? How rude.